Hey guys, welcome back. I'm here again with Ryan Dickerson, and we are standing in the entranceway of L's Giant Metal Factory, which is a factory located in Xiamen, China. Ryan is an 8-figure Amazon seller and produces over 50% of his products in the building standing behind us. We're going to be taking a tour through his factory here, showing you behind the scenes look of what a Chinese factory looks like. He's going to be giving us a walkthrough, showing us the different products that are being produced here, the different machinery that they're using. I'm super excited to show you guys, so stay tuned and let's head in there. So we're going to be taking you guys through a behind the scenes look as if you were a customer, a new customer visiting L's Giant for the first time. And right behind me here is the sample room, or kind of the new products or the products that they have on display for customers viewing. And when you say that's correct, Ryan?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
They're really just to show the customer what their capabilities are. So even if they're putting one of their customers' products in here, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to manufacture it for you. They're just using it as an example of what they can do and what they do for other people. So if I was in the market for a metal product and I walked in here, I'd pretty quickly know what their capabilities are. If I'm looking for an electronics product, this would not be my factory.
Okay, and does every factory have a sampling room and whatnot? Is that,
yeah, it's pretty standard.
Okay.
They would have some kind of room, a showroom, to show you what they have. This is obviously quite a big factory, has quite a big showroom. The products are big. If it was a plastic factory or silicone factory, it'd be much smaller, maybe glass shelving, just to show you what they have. And it could be in the meeting room. This is a pretty standard layout. So when you would come into this factory with your sales rep, the person that you found, they would meet you at the gate, bring you in here. Maybe you go meet the boss of the factory. He'll have an office. They'll have a meeting room. Maybe you guys will go sit at the meeting room, drink some water, and kind of look through the product catalogs. Also in this one over here, we've got engineering. We've got the management department. We have the sourcing department that's in charge of bringing the materials into the factory and really running everything, because that's what an OEM manufacturer does for you. They're managing the process and managing the machines and paying the workers, so you don't have to. That you can just get your product made and not take any of the risk of building your own factory, right? It's kind of a beneficial concept.
And where are we heading next after this?
So I think we'll go through to get the right flow of the factory so that you guys can really just understand how it works. We'll follow the process, the flow of materials. So we'll see where the metal comes in, where the raw material comes in, how it gets transformed into a finished product.
Okay, sounds great. right, so Ryan, what are we looking at here?
All right, so this is just the gate to the factory. We apologize, it's pretty loud. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. But this is where the raw materials come in. And here you can see it's rolled steel pipe. So there's another manufacturer that's actually going to be making this pipe. L's Giant's going to be purchasing it and bringing it in here. If this was a plastic factory, it'd be big bags of plastic pellets. If it was aluminum, it'd be aluminum pipes. Whatever the raw material is, it starts here, and then it's going to be cut down to size before they start bending it. We'll show you that next.
Let's go.
So when you're manufacturing, you want to get as much process out of as little amount of workers as possible. So what we have here is an automatic machine that cuts the pipe to the correct size, and we have one guy overseeing it before we go to the bending process.
Like try to get up close.
So this is the tooling department. And this is an important part of almost any factory that's making something either plastic or metal. If you're sewing a product, they make templates, so they'll still have a sample making room. But for a metal factory, this is where they're making the jigs, the punches that go into the machines that then shape the metal. So every hole that's punched into a piece of metal has to have one of these pieces of tooling. The workers in a department like this are the best of the best. They're making custom, one-of-a-kind products. If a factory says that they need to charge you for a mold or for tooling, this is what it is. And one of the important things as a new seller, if you are going to pay for a mold or you are going to pay for tooling, make sure that it's yours, because the factory is going to have it and hold on to it. But if it ends up that you don't have a good relationship with that factory, you need to be able to take your tooling with you to go to another factory to manufacture it. There's pretty standard contracts you can sign for that kind of thing. For this type of tooling, what's important for us is we need to make sure that the factory maintains our tooling, keeps it oiled so it doesn't get rusty. When we do a production run, so let's say I'm going to do 500 units, that's going to take a factory like this half a day. But what they're going to do is they're going to take the tooling out of the machines, put my tooling into it, do their run, and then change the tooling up again.
So take a look at some of them?
Yeah, we can take a look at it. I mean, it's hard to really tell what it is, but all those clockwise punch machines, you see the one with the big ring punching down. So it's punching down onto something like this. There's probably a metal pipe being inserted into it, and it's doing something to form the pipe. Or something like this is going to be just to bend a pipe, or cut the end into a semicircle, or whatever you need done. And it's all needs to be custom made, and it's very exact, because it's all about mass production. Nobody's measuring and cutting. It's all dies and templates. Put it in, cut it right here over and over and over again. So here's a good example of the tooling in use. We have the raw pipe coming in, and then we have the tooling in the machine that's shaping the end of this pipe. That's the tooling, and this is just a normal machine, and the tooling fits into it.
So it was a little loud in there, Ryan, but take us through what we were looking at.
Yeah, so we can kind of see it from here, but the metal pipe's coming in, and then it's going through a machine that's cutting it and pressing it. And you saw a little of the tooling and how the tooling works. It fits into the large machine, so all the factories have the large machine, and then you as the customer will have your own tooling to form that piece of metal the way you want it. Sometimes the factory, if you're buying an off-the-shelf product, the factory's already going to have that tooling. If they don't have it, if you're doing something custom, you're going to need to pay them to make that tooling. And if you don't pay them, sometimes they will say, no, you don't have to pay for it, but that means it's theirs, and they're going to be using it however they see fit. After your order's done, they might use it for another customer. So what we saw down there is you saw the raw materials coming into the factory. It got shaped, welded, so now you have raw metal. It's just been covered in oil, so now they need to paint it. And that's about the middle of the process. So this is a powder coating machine. So like I said, certain factories do certain things really well. The reason we work with this factory is because they're excellent at powder coating, and that's what's going to make a high quality product that doesn't rust. So you see the workers hanging, or they're actually taking them off here. On the floor below, they're hanging the metal. It goes through, it gets washed several times, gets heated, and then it gets powder coated. And you can see almost half of this building is just the powder coating line. So it's almost like the whole building is its own machine in a way. And there's only so many powder coating lines, so this is very specialized. So there's a lot of, it's not all done by machines. It takes a lot of people, a lot of hand labor to put these products together too. So here you see everyone actually doing the finished product, attaching the plastic pieces, putting metal buttons into the product, measuring it to make sure it works properly before the final product's assembled. You can see over here, so like I said, no factory produces everything. There are always going to be a lot of sub-suppliers. So when you look at something like this, these plastic parts are going to be coming from outside. Again, plastic clips, handles. And again, I want to emphasize, this is part of making a product, is you have to know how your product is made. It's very difficult to jump around because you kind of become an expert in your category. That's what's going to help you make a better product than the next guy, is that you really know your materials, your processes, and what can be done with it. So if you know how to form metal better than other people, you can build more advanced products than they can. If you're a real expert with plastic, you're going to be able to, that's your thing. I couldn't imagine being in a lot of different categories of different products that are made out of materials that you just don't have experience with. So I know I've been showing you guys around, and I come up here to this roof of this factory sometimes for motivation, because it's always hard. You go through a lot of challenges, but you can look out at the size of this factory, and the boss of this place started it by designing a new Christmas tree stand. Actually, it's the same Christmas tree stand I had in my house when I was a kid, and I had no clue. But it shows you don't need to have you don't have to be Google. You don't have to invent there's so much business out there to be done that a single Christmas tree stand built this, and this is what it can lead to. So don't ever think that I'm not creative enough, or I don't have enough skills to launch a new product. It doesn't really take that much, except thinking about it and saying, this product isn't good enough. I'm going to design something better. And it doesn't have to be complicated. There are so many products that are overlooked out there in this world that can be better. And that's what we're doing, really, is trying to make a better product. And we've been given this incredible sales platform to get them out there. No longer is it controlled by these big companies that know the buyers at Walmart. We can come up with something better and sell it directly and let the people decide if our product's better than everybody else's. And if it is, there's really no limit to what you can accomplish. So you saw the metal comes in, gets fabricated, welded, painted, assembled, and then the final piece is it gets packaged. So this is a packing line. They're not actually running any packing right now, unfortunately. You can see how they set it up, and all the pieces will come through. They'll move each piece that goes into the box. They'll seal the box up and weigh it, and it's finished, loaded into a container and out the door. The packing line is the most important, well, I think the most important process, because they're the last ones to see the product before the customer sees it. So it's really important that the people on the packing line are really on their game. They're the ones putting all the pieces in. If they forget something, or they notice that there's something wrong with the product and they still put it in there, it can ruin the customer experience, or they can save the customer experience. So when you're doing your QC, this is the place you really want to be paying attention to. Of course, you want to try to catch any problem as early as possible, but this is the last chance you have before the customer actually sees the product, before it's in their hands.
Well, thanks again, Ryan, for taking the time to give us a tour there, and also thanks to L's Giant for allowing us to do this. I hope you guys got value. I don't know if there's any final words, Ryan, that you want to say about...
No, it's, I mean, I'm inspired when I look at a place like this. And remember, there's many, many materials, lots of different types of factories. It's all kind of the same general overview, but I hope that this helps you guys get a better understanding of just what will be your partners in the future, who you'll be working with.
Yeah, well, absolutely, and thanks again for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks, man.